I got that on video.
It's been a really busy couple of weeks here in Chiapas, Mexico, where I'm working on our sailing boat Tay-Lee, whilst my partner Becca is recovering from a knee injury in the UK. So far, I've resealed all of our pilot house windows and just installed our new hydrovane, which will make our next two big ocean crossings both more comfortable and safer.
That thing!
This week, however, we have reached the limit of a specific system on our British sailing boat, and after 2 years and 19 countries sailed to later, it's time to finally adapt to this region's way of life. Subscribe and give us a thumbs up if you're enjoying the refit series, and let's get into it.
We have had the same 2 butane bottles on board since we left the UK, and everywhere we've been, we've pretty much been able to fill them up with butane, and it's been absolutely fine. However, as soon as we've gone to Mexico, we couldn't fill them up anymore, and nowhere will let us fill them up. So we've had to change our gas bottles, get a new regulator for propane as well. Thankfully, I don't have to change the cooker at all because this can run on both butane and propane, which I'm very happy about. But I do need to go and make some modifications to our gas locker because our old bottles are about that big and the new ones are a good bit bigger, and the rings that they sit in just won't fit. So I've got to go and get the multi-tool, cut out the insert, and then what we'll do to secure them whilst we're underway is just have a ratchet strap in there that basically just holds them onto the wall. So that's the plan. It will be nice though that these new bottles are significantly bigger, so hopefully they'll last a lot longer. So yeah, it's not a bad thing about them, I guess. This video is brought to you by manscaped.com, a global lifestyle brand revolutionising the world of men's grooming. The Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra Electric Trimmer takes grooming precision to a whole new level, and it's perfect at keeping a sailor looking a little less salty. The Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra also has this handy LED light, which is great for your bilge areas. It's got a travel lock, so it won't go off in your case whilst you're travelling. It's USB-C compatible. It's got a battery level indicator, and the best bit still, it's completely waterproof. So any conditions you get put through, this thing will still work absolutely fine. Join the 10 million men worldwide who've put their confidence in Manscaped for all things grooming and hygiene, and head over to manscaped.com to get your hands on the Performance Package 5.0 Ultra. When you use our promo code Tay-Lee, you'll get 20% off, plus free international shipping and 2 free gifts. You can't go wrong there.
Zach actually ended up getting a second new propane bottle in there, meaning that we get to use up our old butane and have a whole new system to instantly switch onto when it finally runs out. I can't lie, seeing the footage of the bottle sat up by the trash pile pulled on some heartstrings. Now, in the graveyard of other butane bottles who've reached the end of their usable life, this system had been bulletproof until now, and it felt a little sad getting rid of a system the boat has always had. But as we travel further and further across the world, I'm sure this kind of alteration will become more and more common. Anyway, on with the next task.
When we first started refitting the boat, we attached a solar panel to the roof here, and there was already these kind of stainless steel guard railings going along the port and starboard side of the pilot house. We've got another project coming up in the future, which is going to be a hard dodger, which we're going to make out of fiberglass, but that's going to be probably like 5 videos down the line from here at least. Where it's sealed onto the pilot house, all of that old sealant has started failing at the exact same time that all the windows did. So I imagine they did the windows and that at the same time. What I need to do is detach the hose clamps that we've got attaching the solar panel on the roof here to these railings, take them off, clean them up, reseal them underneath with some proper Sikaflex, give it a nice clean, put them back on, put the solar panel back on because that's not moving. But before I put the railing back on, I also need to cut off the last bit, which is aft, so like probably about that long, because otherwise it's going to go through where the hard dodger is going to be, if that makes sense. I'll show you because I think it'll make more sense if I actually show you, but these are the hose clamps. I've taken 2 of them off so far, but I've got 2 more to go. Lift the panel up, turn it sideways. There's about 8 bolts underneath the pilot house here, and like 3 or 4 of them have just started dripping, so I need to take all of those out, lift the railings up, cut them, clean them. I'm going to fill the 2 extra holes that I'm going to have in the pilot house roof on that side with some thickened epoxy. That's pretty much it, but I'm going to use this opportunity to give it a really bloody good clean under the solar panel because it's really hard to get under there at the moment, so that's the plan for this afternoon. Try and go here then.
Yeah.
And then if you can just like slowly walk out, but we got to keep it pretty flat.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to set my end down.
Yeah. Yeah, nicely done. The wires should reach. Yeah. And then if we can just slide and push this way. There we go. That should be good. Nice one, thank you.
Yeah.
That's quite easy.
It's not as dirty under there as
No. Right, I'm being a bit lazy. I'm not taking these down all the way because I don't need to, so I need to get into the bolts behind here to take off that whole stainless steel tube now. I'm going to just try and squeeze in here.
I very quickly realised that it was in fact much quicker and easier just to unscrew the headline in.
Now they're all off, I've got to tidy up all of this. This was the first one that started leaking, and we kind of did a bit of a bodge job repairing it about a month ago, but I'm just gonna
clean up the area with a nice sharp chisel and then go in with some sandpaper to clean the rest of it up. It's better. So there's one or two areas where some of the gel coat chipped off. So I'm just going to fill it in. If this doesn't quite colour match properly, we'll get some paint and do it. But I think most of this is going to be under where the stainless steel is going to sit anyway. So not a big issue, but I'm just going to clean it. The area. And I've got just, I think, 2 of these. It just ended up a bit funky. It's literally just that there, so I've literally got a bottle cap lid and this quick epoxy, which has been really useful recently. That's all I'm doing for both of them, should be enough. And then we just mix this all up together until there's no colour difference between any of it. Actually, it's almost the same colour as the pilot house anyway. And then any excess on here, I'll just come back and sand in a bit. And then this was the bigger one that got ripped up here, so I'm gonna need a little bit more for that. In preparation for the hard dodger going in, we're actually going to shorten these hand railings. We're going to get rid of 1, 2 and just do an inch before that one. We're not too sure how long it needs to be at the moment, but I need to fill 2 holes then because the hard dodger is going to go basically over these and cover this area, and so we don't want a handrail having to run through the middle of the dodger. So I'm going to fill these now. I've cleaned the area and there's some tape on the bottom to stop things going all the way through, but we need to colour match this later. But just for now it's going to be filled, and then we'll worry about getting the exact colour in a few weeks. Handhold's ready to go back in here where the solar panel attaches to. I've got plenty of Seeker this time round, so I'm gonna squirt around the base of them, push them down to a point where they're just kind of sitting there, let that dry for most of the day, and then I'll tighten the bolts down. I'll just loosely put them on now and then give them a real good tighten down later, so I get a really good seal with these. These railings are all properly back on. I've cut off the little bit of excess Seeker around it and given a little sand around the area to tidy it up and make sure there's no black marks. But what I'm going to do now is actually take the tarp off, because I want to see if any of the areas in the pilot house are still leaking at all. So I think the best way to do it is just leave it open to the elements for the next week or so, and then I can just monitor everything. And once I'm happy with that, I'm going to start sanding inside the pilot house and cleaning up all the paintwork.
we're going to be changing it out with some Total Boat stuff, which is wipeable white paint instead of the kind of just household stuff that we've got, because boats get dirty and the paint that we've got at the moment isn't the best for keeping the boat looking as good as it can do. We've got some areas where we've been using wipeable bilge paint kind of stuff, and it's been great. It's kept really nice, pristine since we've owned the boat, but inside the pilot house is looking a little bit worse for wear at the moment. So we're going to sandbag all the kind of old stuff just so it gives a good layer to adhere to the new paint, because I don't think you need to sand it down to wood for this paint. But yeah, that's what I'll be doing. So I'm going to test this out for a week, and then in a week or so I'll start painting the pilot house, which would be really nice. It'll look super fresh in there again, because it's just looked a bit run down in there the last like 6 months or so. But first things first, get rid of this, put the solar panel back on, and then just wait and see if we have any leaks. So fingers crossed. So I really hope we don't, because it's a bit of a pain to redo it again if we do. Push my way, look. You ready?
Yeah, ready?
Yeah. Solar panel's all good now, so I'm going to start putting it back on. I've just sprayed the whole pilot house with water as well, and I can't see any leaks, so it's pretty good news. So I'm just going to slide it this way, bolt it on, and then that's most of the exterior stuff done on the pilot house, which is a really good feeling.
This was one of those jobs that definitely took longer than expected, but we are all about doing something once and doing it right over here. Which actually brings me to the next project. As you all know by now, back in Costa Rica we got a wicked new ride. A hard-bottomed Zodiac dinghy along with a 15 horsepower Mercury outboard. Perfect for travelling faster and exploring further. Trouble is, it's quite heavy. So to prevent any other knees popping out this next season, we decided to hop online and make it that bit easier for ourselves.
So I've got a pretty exciting package here. This is our new dinghy wheels. They look absolutely bomb-proof. Look at that. So that would be up. And then to get them down, it's this cool mechanism that goes down like that and then clicks and locks in place. And then to get them up is like that, and they will sit like that. Yeah, wow. Solid. We've got these kind of back plates here which we want to mount them to. In an ideal world, we would mount them to a surface which would cover this whole area. But what I'm going to have to do is drill some holes in these and just mount them onto here. These little plates that we've got here mean that we don't have to drill through the transom, which is a lot better. However, it's a smaller area, so I'm actually beefing up the bolts that they suggested to, I guess these would be like kind of 10mm bolts instead of the 6mm ones. So hopefully these will mean that it's not the weak area, and if we have any issues with this, we can just take this whole section off, get a backing plate, and then properly mount it on the transom here, but we'd have to drill through it. So for now, we're going to just get away with doing it like this, but I need to do a template first. I'm going to remove these kind of old inserts they've got here as well, and then go from there. Okay, so this is going to be my template for it, and then what I'll do is I'll get some holes marked on here and cut out, and then I'm going to put it onto here, drill out, and then we're good. But I need to drill these inserts out first so I can get a flush finish on here as well. I know I want it to be above where these divots are here, so the bottom of it's sitting about there. I think if they're spaced like that, it should be absolutely fine. almost there now. I've got some Loctite for these, so I'll get these on with that, and then I'll put the top ones on, and then I'll be done. Happy days. These feel super solid. Gonna make such a good bit of kit for the next coming season. Can't wait to actually give them a go. Lovely stuff.